Summary of this is going. Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a summary of the Russian Revolution. In or at least try to do it in around 5 minutes. It could be a little over, a little under 5 minutes. So, to begin, we begin in the 1800s when the Tsarist monarchy was an autocratic regime. Alexander the Third or Second, I don't. Yeah, Alexander the Second, began making reforms on the serfs, which made the peasants so-called free. Not really free, but the these are they made them pay a lot of money amount. If anything, some historians say that it was worse for the Tsars to have freed the serfs, but make them still pay amount of debt. I have no idea, but this is a map of the Russian Revolution. So in 1905, the Russians lost the war to Japan, to the Japanese in the Boxer Rebellion, Russo-Japanese War. This humiliated the Russians and made people angry with the Tsar. A 1905 petition would have came for better working conditions, and it was very respectful, but the Tsar unattended this. It wasn't supposed to be. Not everybody believed it was Nicholas II, but he got all the blame because he was an absolutist. It brought reforms which the Tsar, after everything calmed down, immediately removed the reforms. In 1912, the Balkan Wars happens against all the Turks against the Turks in the Balkans. They win, and in 1913, Bulgaria goes after Serbia for claims in Macedonia, which is mostly Bulgarian. The Serbians say no, and then the invasion begins. In the matter of 1 month, the Bulgarian armies are routed out and are forced to surrender. Russia, the Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand was killed in Sarajevo in Bosnia. This starts World War I, which Russia begins the general mobilization. The Germans say stop, the Russians say no, and then the war breaks out. At this beginning, the Schlieffen Plan was built to I'm not going to be able to finish all this in 5 minutes. So I'm gonna probably go for 10 minutes, which is still a lot. The Germans did the Schlieffen Plan, seeing how the Russians lost in the Russo-Japanese War. They saw Russia wasn't as strong as they were, so they began invading France in the 1905 Schlieffen Plan. The Russians begins an invasion of East Prussia. The Germans have to send divert some more soldiers to the region, leading to a German failure in the Silesian Plan. In the Battle of Tannenberg, the Russian First Army collapses. Was it First Army? I'm not good with army, sorry. And morale plummets as the Germans begins invading Poland. By the time of the Bolshevik Revolution, by the time they've taken over Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia. Now the Russians didn't have any of it and forced the Tsar to abdicate, making the provisional government also known as White Russia. The people unsatisfied with this this would begin another uprising, this time of communists. The communists would easily take over, basically just going into the buildings and taking over land. The White Russians would begin an offensive to Yekaterinburg, right over here. This is where the Tsar is kept. I missed something. The Bolsheviks would after taking control of the country, would hold elections. The elections would have resulted in a Menshevik, also known as the White Army or Russian Provisional Government, taking over the country. The Bolsheviks would take to arms to defeat the White Russians. The White Russians had a majority of the land, but the Red Army had a majority of the industrial land. The Tsar was captured by the Bolsheviks, and he was here. The Whites would have attacked the city, would have neared the city. Having no choice, the Bolsheviks got the Tsars and his family and massacred all of them. Soon they would also invade Eastern Europe. The Bolsheviks would soon take over Ukraine. And by this time the Whites would have surrendered, would have been routed out and surrendered. The Soviets begin in 1922. The Soviets begins an offensive into Poland. This would work at first. However, the Polish would be more industrialized and would have better weapons because of Britain. I'm recording. Polish, it will be a massive Polish victory and a huge humiliation loss for the Bolsheviks. In the Treaty of Riga, the Baltics would get independence, Finland would get independence, Moldova will be ceded to Romania, and Poland would get a huge chunk of land west of Minsk. The Union of Soviet Socialists would be declared in a treaty, after this, Lenin would die and Stalin would take power and would make a huge impact on Soviet and Russian politics to today, even even with the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics being formed the world, there would have been a new communist nation in the world, the first communist nation by many, although I believe the first communist nation was the Paris Commune, but that only lasted for 3 months. Lenin would have been known for spreading socialism throughout the revolution, and Stalin would have been known for socialism in one state. There's a lot of history debates going on whether Stalin was good or bad. After all, he did lead the Soviets to victory in World War II, but he also massacred people. An estimated 15 million Ukrainians would have starved under the rain, killing the Crimean Tatars in the process, also Russifying a lot of that place, leading the Russian Federation to claim Crimea. Now that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye. By the way, I'm going to do more documentaries like this, like telling the Russian Revolution. Like, this is just the Russian Revolution. I'm not gonna quit mapping, but I'm not necessarily gonna keep doing mapping. Bye.